Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say in this video. I never thought I would ever in a million fucking years be making a fucking goddamn video response to someone who I respect the hell out of, who maybe in a few ways made me gradually think about atheism and God and shit like that. T.J. Kirk, aka the Amazing Atheist, stated that if you are undecided in voting in this election, you should vote for Trump. Now, I hate Hillary Clinton, but I hate Trump a hell of a lot more. I have dedicated 5 videos on why I hate Trump, how much I hate Trump, how fucking psychotic and scary that bastard is if he is in power. I have made videos about why I hate Hillary Clinton. I stand by everything I said in those videos. Every time I say vote for Hillary Clinton, it is out of reluctance. It is out of hating Trump a hell of a lot more than hating Hillary Clinton. I hate Donald Trump mostly because this bastard has proposed executing Edward Snowden. TJ, if you believed that Edward Snowden did the right thing back in 2013, which, frankly, you'd be a fucking idiot not to think he did the right thing after 3 years. It's been 3 years since his fucking leaks, and no one has any evidence that any of the documents he leaked caused anyone their lives or caused harm to anyone. TJ, you're a smart man. I know you're a smart man. So how in the fuck can you think consciously telling people to vote for Trump? You have over 1 million followers. This is beyond irresponsible for a liberal to do. For a liberal to suggest, oh, well, he's gonna propose paid family leave and shit. It's only 6 weeks. Hillary Clinton's plan is more progressive. Second off, talking with my dad, who's an accountant, who knows fucking economists, historically speaking, proposing new government programs while simultaneously asking for lower taxes doesn't fucking work economically at all. One could say, well, redistribute the budget and shit, redistribute federal funds. Yeah, here's the thing. I guarantee you Trump is more of an interventionist than Clinton is. Well, he said he wants to do protectionism and shit. Yeah, a couple months prior to that, he said he wanted to bomb the families of ISIS, which I get he brought that up. Well, you see, he says, well, Obama already does that in drone strike. Yes! That is a fucking problem. Do you want someone to do that? Or be worse than that? Do you want more fucking ISIS people coming in? Do you want more terror attacks coming to the U.S.? Also, for someone who's so goddamn principled, I would fucking think that you would be able to understand. This guy wants to appoint another justice like Antonin Scalia. That guy was a typical right-wing bigoted douchebag. Second, Trump has also proposed time and time again that he wants to essentially get rid of the Geneva Convention. Yes, well, America's been doing that since they've been written and shit. Yeah, and that's the problem. Trump and Clinton, but primarily Trump, has been promoting the idea of American exceptionalism time and time again. Now, maybe this is just my own paranoia, quote-unquote, coming into play when I state this. Donald Trump has shown fascist tendencies, TJ. I don't know if you're aware of a channel called Democracy Now!, but they interviewed the author of a book called The Anatomy of Fascism. This guy stated that Trump demonstrates fascist tendencies. Again, I've been reading this book. In the first chapter alone, it convinced me that Donald Trump has the potential to be as terrible as Mussolini was. I'm not sure if he could be a Hitler level bad, but certainly a Mussolini level bad if the right dominoes fell into place. We already had a recent terror attack. Again, we know what the government does after a terror attack. Well, more of your civil liberties have to be taken away. More of your privacy rights have to be taken away. You have no privacy rights. That's what big government tells us to do. Donald Trump has suggested reauthorizing the Patriot Act. On Fox and Friends back in 2013, he suggested executing Edward Snowden. Or at least heavily implying it by saying, we still have execution on the books. Now, being that this is the guy that perpetuates the most nationalist rhetoric I have seen from a presidential candidate. Now, yes, there are philosophers like Chomsky who would argue, well, he's no different than the other Republican candidates. It's just they get coded better, but I think that is the problem. Trump's use of language, his mannerisms, the way he acts in public. This is not a man I want in power, TJ. Hillary Clinton, I think you can control more than you can control Donald Trump. If enough people put a pressure on Hillary Clinton, you will probably get most of the shit that you want. If Hillary's elected, which I hope is the case, which is probably why I'm making this video, because I'd rather have a Clinton presidency than a Trump presidency. I cannot imagine, knowing the history of fascism, knowing how these regimes came into power through similar rhetoric, imagining that that very person could be the president of the United States. Not to mention, TJ, I can't fucking believe you would be this stupid in this regard. This goddamn stupid. Or willfully ignorant, or whatever. Fuck. I'm losing my fucking mind right now. I cannot believe this shit. Oh, you're triggered. Yeah, I'm a little triggered that someone who I respect the hell out of has suggested appointing someone that if another 9/11 happened, which I guarantee you, seeing how the war on terror is going on now, wouldn't surprise me if it happened the next year or two. Okay? Another 9/11 happens, or another type of 9/11 happens. Guess what? We have laws on the book that the president can declare martial law. This shit was made back in the 1800s. Hell, if Lincoln could do it, now granted, one could argue, well, Lincoln had a better cause. Trump could do it like that. Do you really want someone who, by their nature, is an authoritarian, having the ability to declare martial fucking law? And if we've just seen him be arrogant and careless in his goddamn rallies, and clearly unstable, then in office, what makes you think that he won't try to instill martial law? What makes you think he's going to make sure the people become even more like sheep than they already goddamn are? Yes, I hate Hillary Clinton. I fucking hate her. I hate her because she voted for the goddamn Patriot Act. But Trump isn't proposing any new suggestions and getting rid of it. Oh, here's another thing. I'm studying to become a goddamn teacher right now. So Trump says, oh, I'm against No Child Left Behind. Great, so am I. What are you going to replace it with? Oh, I'm going to privatize education. We saw what privatizing education did. Public schools are failing. That's why you need to put more funding in the public school system in the federal government so that shit can be redistributed properly in the public schools around the goddamn country. Learning about how shitty public schools are currently is a terrible disgrace in America. So the fact that Trump doesn't even want to try to create one single solution to help the public school teacher, the public schools, what makes you think that Trump is going to fucking make sure that everyone has the equal opportunity to get a good education? What about special education students? Have you thought of that in this 2-minute video, TJ? Have you thought of that? What if he, okay, he's elected president. He enacts this privatization thing for schools. Do you have any fucking idea how terrible and how fucked over every goddamn special education student will be in the United States of America if that is passed and enacted? I thought you were smart. I thought you were a smart man, TJ. After seeing that, I defended you against Steve Shrives, but I'm going to kick you in the fucking ass for essentially telling people to endorse Trump. Oh, Trump's moving the Republican Party to the left. In terms of what? Rhetoric? Because rhetoric is great. Rhetoric is great because you just get that rhetoric going. Right? Guess what? George W. Bush had rhetoric of being the compassionate conservative. Guess what? That rhetoric wasn't really accurate, was he? He proved to be one of the most militant and interventionist men that we've ever had in the White House. Trump wants to keep Guantanamo Bay open. We torture people in Guantanamo Bay with waterboarding. We have committed such horrid war crimes in this century that having someone like Trump, who would actively even defy international law more than Bush and Obama combined, and you're saying you're okay with that guy being in the White House, you're fine, you're perfectly okay with having this authoritarian fascist in the goddamn White House. Is that what you're telling me, TJ? Now, I don't expect you to endorse Hillary Clinton. I get it. I don't like Hillary either. I don't know how many fucking times I've said that in this video. I'm going to try to calm the fuck down because you're like, oh, you're triggered, triggered, little Jew, triggered. Yeah, I'm a little bit triggered. I'm a little bit fucking triggered right now. Quote unquote, trigger, whatever. Fuck. People who base their philosophy on integrity and principle would not even dare to support Trump. The people that support Trump are desperate, willfully racist, stupid, and beyond desperate for some sort of change, that they will be willing to go from a candidate like Bernie Sanders, who proposed the best way to take the goddamn corrupt system that we have in the government, to someone to the point where you're like, oh, by whatever means necessary, even if that change is from the authoritarian right. Well, that's fucking wrong. I don't just care about taking down the establishment. I'm a little more fucking nuanced than that. I care about who is trying to take down the establishment. I care about where that fucking ideology is coming from. That is what I care about. I don't just care about getting rid of the establishment. I care about who gets rid of it. Trump getting rid of it. I'll take the fucking establishment over Trump for 4 years. 8 years even. 8 more years of my life. I'll take the establishment and the continued bullshit over the possibility. And let me tell you, with the way he's fucking acted in the past and recently, hasn't really disproved my point. Of Trump the authoritarian. I know the alt-right is going to hate me. Come at me. Come on. I know you hate me. Also, I want to say this about the alt-right. You claim to be so in favor of free speech, yet you harass and try to shut down those that disagree with you. And then you cheer the idea of, I have taken this person down. Then you're not for free speech, are you? You don't give a damn about the principle of free speech, right? Correct? Am I correct to assume that, right? You only care if Milo Yiannopoulos gets his Twitter unverified because maybe he committed libel. Just saying, he may have committed libel. Actually, in those screen capture shots he got, of the fake screen capture shots he got of Leslie Jones, he said, "Oh, she's anti-Semitic. Yeah, she didn't write that, dumbass." And you're supposed, yeah. I'm just gonna say Breitbart probably doesn't have any fucking integrity at all. GJ, you're better than this. I could even imagine you saying endorse Jill Stein. I could say endorse Gary Johnson even. Depending on what state you live in currently. I plead with you, sir. I beg you. As one liberal, as a disillusioned, angry as fuck Bernie supporter, fearing what Clinton would do with someone like Edward Snowden if she were president. But fears even more for that man's safety if a Trump presidency were to happen. Do not encourage people to vote for Trump just because of some useless rhetoric and because of a little possibility of him moving the party to the left. That's not going to happen. Trump isn't going to be the one to move it to the left. Okay? That's just not going to fucking happen. Trump's business record is shit. Trump's idea of foreign policy won't work. I'm all for a libertarian foreign policy in a lot of ways. Because what we're doing right now is shit. But, and you're like, oh, where are your sources, Darth? I showed them in a video I made recently. TJ Kirk, as a viewer, as a subscriber, as a man who respects you, I'm bordering on respected like Steve Shribes. I'm bordering on respected after that little stunt you pulled. In good conscience, for the sake of the United States of America, for the sake of continuing what Bernie started, we cannot support and vote Trump in as our next president. We cannot seriously think that Donald Trump is a logical choice for president. Once you start going down that desperate route, the route of we need something, we'll take anything. We'll take anything. That's how the Patriot Act was passed, with that mindset. That's how the government was able to get away with all this illegal wiretapping. Because we were desperate and stupid and wanting any answers, even if they were the wrong ones. Anything. The people of Nazi Germany and the people of Mussolini's Italy craved any answer, anything, for the state their countries were in. And they made the wrong choice. They made the wrong decision. Again, I beg you. I'll take an endorsement of Gary Johnson. I'll take an endorsement of Jill Stein. But not this man. Not this man. As someone who ranted and raged against Hillary Clinton when the New York primary results were announced, in this very microphone, in this very basement, I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton in November. I'll want to throw up afterwards, but as Noam Chomsky says, if you live in a swing state, you hold your nose and you vote Democrat to defeat Trump. That's what my goal is, to defeat Trump. I don't believe a goddamn thing he says. And I know neither do you. So again, in good conscience, you can't encourage people to vote for this man. I don't know if this is going to change your mind. I don't fucking care. An endorsement for Trump is beyond wrong. I'm gonna leave it at that before I run into the risk of being repetitive. Live long and prosper and have a nice day. And again, whatever you do, for the sake of this country, for the sake of freedom of speech, for the sake of the right to privacy, for the sake of the Geneva Convention and the Eighth Amendment, or protection from cruel and unusual punishment, don't vote for Donald Trump. Hold your nose, vote for Hillary Clinton, and fight another day.